Hi guys, welcome if you haven't been here before. This is my first week in the Every Bit Counts challenge. So what I plan on doing is I plan on making a weekly video that goes through all of our lovely canning things. In this video, you're going to see all that stuff right there that I've canned, and I actually have more over the other side. So let's go with this first week. Good morning guys, got my coffee. We are back from vacation and we are about ready to check out some of the gardens. My front garden. Oh, it's a hot mess. That's okay. We're gonna work on weeding it. I don't know, it looks like it might rain, so I'm going into the high tunnel with my daughter and we are going to see everything that needs to get picked, pick things, and or get people to pick things, and then we'll be able to preserve that stuff as soon as possible because we don't want to put anything to waste. So let's go in here. We were gone from, let's see, 5 days, 4 days, 5 days, 4 nights, something like that. Or no,
5 days.
Yeah, 5 days, 4 nights. Had a really good time. It was interesting time, but it was a really good time. It was nice to get away. It was very relaxing. Then I got the news that my gram had passed, and it became not so relaxing, but we still enjoyed ourselves. So let's see this crazy garden. Look at those weeds. Hello, weedy garden. Okay, we're good. I'm trying to hold my coffee too. Let's go, I guess, down the cucumber side.
Yes,
All right, let's go down here. So we have tons of cucumbers to be picked. I don't know if you can see them all. Look at the pretty flowers. Tons of cucumbers here to be picked. These market moors are down to there. The market moors have not been as affected as the other tomatoes were. So we are going to pull all these tomatoes. It goes cucumbers, so it's not a tomato. But as you can see, they're getting the best of us. Celery's starting to come up over here. Lots of cucumbers. Lots of cucumbers. It's good. We'll do some pickles. Some of them are really big, but they will be fine for pickles. They're not past the you can't eat them type stage. When they get like yellowy, that's when you really don't want to eat them. There's a bunch of kale here that needs to get picked. Okay, whatever bug that is ate a sunflower. Woo! Interesting. So we're gonna pick whatever peppers there are. I see some here and there, down that row there. Nothing really on this side, but we had just planted things in there and put seeds in there right before we left. So my son has been working on weeding out this section. I don't know if you can see it. Got it stuck in my belly. This section, see the two blueberries here? He's working on this section here, middle section, and then he's gonna pull the weed mat all the way down there. Quite a few peppers, enough peppers to at least do the pickles, hopefully. That would be great. And then I think I'm going to hop over this side. Definitely need to do beans. Those are overdone. And kale.
there's a snake right there.
Oh yes, I see the snake. You guys see it? Okay. We're also going to see these leeks. We are going to cut these leeks off here down this row and make like chop those up and probably put them in the freezer and or dehydrate them. I don't know what else I need to dehydrate, so we'll see. Hello, Mr. Snake. I know that I really don't want to walk over there now. Let me go over further along. I see a couple cucumbers on these plants, but most likely we're going to end up ripping up all of those cucumbers there. Let me get over to the other side. If you can see here, there are some tomatoes as well. So we'll be able to do tomatoes. I think I'm going to put my coffee over here. It's my second cup. I needed 2 this morning. Okay. So I'm actually going to walk. So here's the leeks I just had there. There's the kale, and there's the beans that need to get picked. So what I'm doing right now. So what I'm doing right now is taking an evaluation. I'm worried about getting the food that's ready in the house first, and then we'll worry about weeds and all that type of stuff after. So first things first, writing a list of things that need to get done, and then we'll get the people that are inside to pick activities that are going to happen in this garden. I think I'm gonna walk in here. So again, you can see these leeks here. Those are gonna get cut and then they will produce more. We're also gonna pick, see all the beautiful tomatoes in there? We're gonna pick all those tomatoes that are ready. We can probably do a batch of salsa. They're gorgeous too. Looking out for that snake, making sure it's still sitting there. Here is a bunch of kale with slugs on it, so we will take the slugs off and bring the kale in. Grabbing all those beautiful tomatoes. Green beans, all in here. It looks like whatever decided that it was going to get into these plants here, so I don't know. I might end up tearing that out. Look at that huge tomato. Green beans. So the green beans that are too big will either be eaten today or will be used for seeds, and then the rest of them will get canned. And I'll collect some calendula, tomatoes. This will need to get weeded because we have beets and carrots that we put in here, and they're just babies, so we got to make sure that those are taken care of. Now, snakes up here, so I'm crossing over here. Hello, big zucchinis. We can definitely make some salsa with you. Damage. See, look at all the bugs. Ugh. After we get all the fruits and vegetables in, then I will evaluate plants and stuff after that. So we are going to go through this section here. Let's see if I can go through this section here, pick all the zucchinis. Here's more in there. I'm gonna go through all those zucchinis. Let's see, keeping an eye on where exactly that snake is. Up further. Okay, so let me go here. Okay, so now these are the delicatas. These plants, obviously, oh my goodness. Anyway, things that happen while you're away. There are delicatas on here. So we are going to focus on one, taking care of those. Look at all the stinking bugs. See what happens? Just a couple days, just a couple days. So I'm gonna decide what we're gonna do. I still don't know what I'm gonna do, but what I am gonna do is pick the vegetables that are there. There is Swiss chard over here that I can see that needs to get cut. These are all the plants in here. Then I have okra over there. So I have to check the okra. I actually see some on there. Do you see that?
Yeah, there's some on there.
I think that we might pick those okra as well. We have never done too much okra. Yes. So I'm gonna go on the other side over there as well. Couple melons, just not quite sure how that's gonna look. Definitely gonna rip these up here. Yeah. These beans do not look good either on this side. I don't know what really happened to them here. I'm gonna come back over here. I don't want to walk through that. Let's see. Is there a path in here? Not really. I'm gonna go right here, I think. Oh, look, there's a yellow one in there. Okay, so now we're on this side of the tomatoes. Tomatoes there. Definitely beans need to get picked. Tomatoes there. What I'm thinking is we're gonna bring in everything, and then we are going to decide the amount of beans that are being produced at this point. And then probably pull things up and put in some fall crops. That's what I'm thinking, honestly, because I see a lot of the damage from the bugs over there. I'm thinking a lot of stuff is going to need to get pulled up, and then we put something else in that will be profitable. If not, we might just be playing the battle with the bugs. Okay, I'll show you this cabbage head, tinier one, tomatoes, the beans in here, cabbage. So most of those cabbage will probably be able to get pulled up, and then like the weeds there. So then I need to find something that I'm gonna put in here. I do see some of the beets that she just planted in here.
The carrots don't look like they came up.
The carrots usually take longer too. So if we weed that and then give it a couple days, we'll just see, maybe like August 1st, if there's nothing up, then we'll plant something else. And then these peppers are actually looking fairly good. They're bushing out. I think those are the yellow peppers. So that is that. These tomatoes aren't red yet. These ones got planted later. So we will see the plants here. We'll pull this up, and then we hay around these. We can also cut these leeks here for the freezer. And then these cabbage and stuff are new that are here. So we'll go in, make a list of this space, and go from there. Oh, I see some cauliflowers too. This was already cut, so we can use those leaves. There's a good head. There's a good head. I don't want to honestly touch this right here because I'm very allergic to tomato plants. And then these will be able to be done. So yeah, we'll work on those as well. So I will clear tables, make lists. I'm gonna go into this small garden over here, and then, oh yeah, will you grab it? I almost forgot my coffee. How can I forget my coffee? All right, let's go. We're gonna go into this small garden over here, and then I'll go into the tree garden after that. I see the van doors open. I'm wondering, hopefully the lights are on. I don't want the lights to, maybe they're just cleaning it out. All right, let's go in here. It looks very messy. I think that tomato plant right in the front always makes it look more messy. All right, heading in here. See, that tomato always makes it look more messy. That is actually a tomato cherry plant, a cherry tomato cherry. I'm doing well. Leeks, some of these could probably be cut, weeded and mulched. This is holy basil. We'll probably pinch those so those get more fluffed out. Some of this is lemon mint here along with the weeds. So this can get weeded and lemon mint in there. I do see stragglers of raspberries. So whatever's there, they can probably eat for like snack because there isn't too many. I saw a couple out front too. Look how big that cherry tomato is. That is what will happen if you don't prune your plants. In here, I see some carrots, but definitely needs to be weeded so we can see what's going on there. Let's look if these ones started producing yet. There is flowers in here, so I would not be opposed to letting these ones thrive out here, while the inside ones are not doing so well. I'm stuck on the sprinkler. There we go. Let's see. I don't see anything as of yet. Sorry, I should have brought a tissue. I'm like snuffing my nose. These are acorn squash and they're actually looking really well. What?
Isn't this the melon bed?
I don't think so. I think that's acorn squash because, yeah, I remember somebody planting it. These here are more leeks with carrots. The beets are coming out really nice. These bigger beets here were planted first, so maybe we'll pull those. We'll see if those are ready. Cucumbers are doing okay. Cucumbers are doing okay. And then there's potatoes back there with potato bugs on them. Yeah. Which they didn't have before we left. Ta-da! Real life potato bugs. We went to PEI and they have like huge fields of gorgeous potatoes. But of course they spray them. They have like the over top type sprayer type things. We kind of live in potato country. I know we don't live in Idaho, but yeah, we're in up a little bit more north. They do a lot of potatoes. They spray them. And then Prince Edward Island, oh my goodness, the farms and everything. The land was so different and it was so gorgeous. It was like the ground was all that red clay, or not red clay. I don't know what it is, but it's like red ground. And it really looks like it produces food quite well. So lots needs to get done in here. And we're gonna head over to the other gardens over this way. It is, I don't know, end of July. Mostly outside. I can't plant anything else. I might be able to throw like some beets in between places or whatever like that. But our first frost is usually, I think it's like the mid-July, like 20th around, I forget when it is, but around that time. So I'll show you my front bed. This is great. Oh, isn't this so beautiful? Anyway, there is a lot of mint in here. Calendula, that will all get pulled. More mint here. Then if we pull these big things, the borage, I mean, this was like this big before I left. The borage, I can take some of the flowers off as they get bigger. Like a little teddy bear sunflower. Basically this just needs to get weeded. These dill can come in and dry. More calendula there. And we can rip out some of this comfrey that's yet again come back. And there may be herbs in here. I just don't know at this point because that part is all overgrown. Okay. In here, this is a blueberry garden. So in here, potatoes are looking okay. Squash is looking okay. Jerusalem artichokes look great, although I'm probably going to end up digging some of these this year. I want like a wall and it's coming out into like, this is a blueberry bush here. So let me come this way so you guys can get a better feel. I'll probably take maybe like this out. So we have some squash, and we do have some blueberries here, but not very many. And some blueberries that can get picked. Just a handful. Maybe I'll go with the raspberries as well. So let's go over to the tree garden. Now most of the tree garden is going to be freshly planted because we planted that before we left. But we'll see what there is and what's going on. The first thing I'm gonna do is actually like pop up the thing to see if I have any potatoes in there. So remember we put the Agribond over this. It has had Agribond this whole time. Yeah. We got slugs in here, but we don't have potato bugs. These already flowered, but the plants still look decent, so we probably won't dig it as of yet. I'm thinking maybe 2 weeks or so. I don't know. We'll see. So these two were planted. This has the, yes, what are those? Strawberries in here that can be weeded and hayed. It looks like the pumpkins are starting to get some flowers. Don't know if it's going to be too late or not, but they have flowers. Strawberries, little pears, more strawberries. We can put some more strawberries in there too, or like take the runners and shove them in there. This has lots of little apples on it. Definitely can fill in here a bit. There's lots of spaces that we can try to fill in for next year. This is filling up itself fairly well, which is nice. And then I don't know what's in here. I think she planted plants in here. Oh yeah, little cucumbers. Okay, so the only thing that I think that may be harvestable would be stuff over here. So some of these can just get pulled. There's a nice one. So yeah, so we have these here, and I think what I'll do is in that one we can pull this section here up, and then I'll plant some beets in there, and then these can probably just get pulled out and given to an animal, and then we'll just plant beets like in this whole section here. See if I can share with you. So is that a Brussels sprout? Yeah. Okay, the Brussels sprouts will stay, but the broccoli will go, and then we'll put beets in this section. So some of these are starting to come up. There's beets and kale and cabbage in here, so I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't see the cabbage. Was it seeds or plants that we did?
This side was plants, but it looks like something's eating them.
Yeah.
That beets were seeds there, and then that side was seeds.
And then that bed right there, I need to clean out and find something to plant in. So the fields in PEI were just like totally gorgeous. We have lots of land, and it's not a lot of usable land. All of our gardens are up front here because it's not very usable land. So, but use what you have, do what you have. I'd rather have like unusable land than no land at all and live like in the city or something. I'm gonna grab my coffee. So that is about it. I'm gonna make a list of who's doing what, and then I'm going to also make lists of what we're going to make with that stuff. I'm thinking zucchini salsa should be enough. There might be enough for zucchini relish, because I think I saw more zucchinis than actual tomatoes, but I won't know until that comes in. And then we'll also do another batch of pickles. And, yeah, I think those are the things. We'll freeze a bunch of things, dehydrate some things, probably put some leeks into the dehydrator. Yeah, want to see the sheep? I know you probably heard them, huh? They're getting so big. Those are the lambs that were born this year. Getting big, huh? So gorgeous. So the males of those lambs will go in the freezer, and the females, I gotta switch sides here, and the females will be kept. My daughter is trying to switch over to Katahdins, which I actually think is a wise choice, because now that we have them, you can see such a good difference as far as like the fastness of weight goes, because our male is a Katahdin. So if we're going to use them for meat, we definitely, yeah, definitely I think Katahdin's the way to go. So let's see what we get.
Are you trying to accomplish it here? It's small.
You know what? I might only get one bowl of green beans in.
Okay guys, we got everything in. Whoa! Yes, let's see what we got. So starting down this side, we have some cabbages. Here, these are actual cabbages, not just leaves. There, we have this lovely basket of peppers. These tomatoes, not too many tomatoes, and we have something that's eating some of the tomatoes. Some of them are gone. So because of that, I asked for the tomatoes that were about from this down to be picked, and those will ripen in the house. So these green tomato bowls are actually just from the bottom section of the tomato plants so that they don't ripen and get eaten from other critters. We have some cauliflower here that will probably just go for a meal. Although, you know what would be yummy is if I did cauliflower and cucumbers and peppers. I love cauliflower in with like pickled cauliflower. Yum. Yeah, so we'll see about that. Okay, so we have those tomatoes there, and I'll put those in boxes so they can just ripen like this because we really need tomato products. And I'm not quite sure that 100 plants were enough for us. These are all leaves, cauliflower and cabbage leaves that are going to be cut up and either in the freezer or probably dehydrated, honestly, because I think our freezers are fairly full. Here are some kale right here. This actually I'll probably rinse off, pick through, that type of stuff, and then have as salad. These are beautiful leeks. Let me see if I can get a better thing here. Can you hold that for a second? So these are beautiful leeks. You can see the tops here. A lot of these I think I'm going to chop up and throw in the dehydrator, and we use this, we make leek powder, which is almost like a, yeah, I can talk. It's almost like an onion powder that you can use like interchangeably. So when a recipe called for onion powder, then I could use leek powder as well. So we have these beautiful delicata squash. Gorgeous. Can't wait to cook those. Some zucchini. So this is actually going to be, given the amount of tomatoes that I have, this will actually be too much for the tomatoes. So probably what I'll do is I will take some of these zucchini, make the salsa, and then I might make a small batch of zucchini relish, which will be the first batch of the year. This is bigger kale, so that will probably get chopped up and maybe added with the kale over here because we eat lots of greens. And then look at all the cucumbers. Yes, all the cucumbers. So what we're going to do with these cucumbers here is chop those up with onions, peppers, that type of stuff, and we're going to make some pickles. I may do like a mixed pickle. I don't know. You guys are going to have to see in a couple minutes as we get about this day. So then we have 2 big bowls of green beans, which will be snapped and put in canning jars. I see 14 here, and then eating, and then 14 quarts, and then eating in those 2. We have dill here. This will go just in the dehydrator, which is the air dehydrator that I have from Amazon. I can link that in the comments below because it's not very expensive at all. Calendula, same thing, will go in the dehydrator. This is lemon. It's lemon mint, I think it's called. It has like a lemony flavor to go with it. And then we have this bowl, which is regular mint. So those will all get dehydrated, although I may end up taking some of that and making some tea for today. These are some gorgeous beets, and the beets are down there. We just didn't have a lot of room to lay them out. So that is about it, guys. And we are going to work on all this together. So the green tomatoes, we're just gonna put in these 2 boxes. I'll cover the boxes over and they will be fine, and I'll stack them, and we will check them every few days to see what's red and what's not, and incorporate that into recipes. Okay, so we decided instead to do it into a cooler. So this is all the cucumbers with 8 peppers and 8 onions, and then we're going to fill that up with cold water and 2 cups of pickling salt.
These, and I'm putting it here, and putting it right here, and I'm putting these.
Those beetroots.
Yeah. And beetroots.
Yeah, so that's how you're helping
And
Mama.
we're taking this
The leaves.
and this.
Show them how to do it. Do one, so they know how to do it. Yeah, we're taking the leaves off and putting them in there. You're very good at that. Thank you for all your help.
And you're welcome.
Okay guys, let's talk about where everything is today with the canning. We all picked all that stuff this morning, shared that, just showing you where we're at with everything. So this is our big hot water bath canner. We're going to be using our other canner as well, so we've got this one going. This has salsa. That is going on. We have beets in the back boiling down. We have oodles of bread and butter pickles getting ready. Do you know how many there are here now? 6, looks like 6 30 times 5, so 30. So 30 quarts of bread and butter pickles here. So she is going to be making the brine for these and then just rotating those through the hot water bath after the salsa's done. So this is zucchini relish. I actually normally, this is so weird, but I like when I do zucchini relish to actually use red peppers, but I don't have any, so I just did the green peppers that we have. So this is just zucchini, green peppers, and onions, and I took this and have salt, and it's gonna sit here for a little bit. So here I just have the cauliflower that we had. This is our last batch of cauliflower, and I put 1 onion in here along with some salt, and that's gonna sit for a little bit. So we can do this and the relish at the same time, so we're just kind of rotating like time that it's sitting. So these are the beet greens here. So I probably am going to chop those up in a minute, like into smaller pieces, but this was pretty dirty, so I'm gonna just move the beet tops and then wipe that up and then chop those up better, and then I might chop some of this cabbage as well. So I'll show you where the rest of the leeks are. We're rotating this through the dehydrator. I'll show you that in a minute. We're just putting the delicatas in here. We're gonna eat those fresh. This is what we have left over from the peppers. And we actually got 20 quarts of the green beans. So she's taking what was boiling water and just putting those over the tops of the green beans. And then we're going to be rotating those through a really exciting. We have the big stove now, because now we can be doing like hot water bath and pressure canning at the same time and cooking things down, which is so exciting. So I just pulled 1 tray out. This is all it looks like when we dehydrate the leeks. And they only need to dehydrate a couple hours, so probably what will happen is those will get ground down and put into a powder, and then we'll do another batch tonight. So this is where we're at. She is taking these pickles out. Cauliflower, gonna move back. The salsa, the 6 quarts of salsa are right here. We have the green beans here. We have supper on the skillet. We ended up making some, we have 7 quarts in there. We ended up making, my daughter ended up taking some of that cabbage and just stir frying it to go with supper. So my other daughter here has some pickled cauliflower that will go in after those other pickles go in. And I'm going to start working on the relish. So this is going to be our next round of the leeks here. So he has that, and he is taking the cabbage and just chopping it up, and then we're going to chop it in the food processor. We're just checking for slugs as well. that was the leeks, and then this is the relish. So we got 6 quarts of the zucchini relish. And then we have another batch of the green beans going on, and I'll show you what we have done so far. So this is the cauliflower. I think it looks beautiful. And then we got, this is pickled cauliflower, and then this is salsa, and then all of these are bread and butter pickles. So that's where we're at right there. And then we started on the other side of the kitchen with these 7 jars of quarts of the green beans. They are raw packed. So then she has 7 more in, and then she has 7 more that need to get on. It is 7 o'clock now. We're going to try to get the other canner going as well. Okay, so I just rearranged a little bit. So this pot right here, yes, it's hanging over the edge. Anyway, it'll fit like this. So this is the hot water bath. So we're gonna finish those zucchini, and then I also, or zucchini relish, and then I'm going to put in the pickled beets after into that. And then I'm going to put right here, I wanna put the other canner to put the last 7 jars of the green beans. I'm doing that because I have the space and I don't wanna be up all night. So from our last beet thing, this is what we had here. So I did, I'll talk to you guys. So I had done this, and no, it did not have any sugar in that brine. And then we just marked, I should have mentioned this in the other video, we'll mark the tops with saying that it has no sugar in it. And then what I'm going to do to that one, because I don't know how many beets we're going to have all together, I just kind of will alternate. In this next one, I'm going to add 2 cups to the remaining brine. If you were to make the full batch recipe, then you would want to do 4 cups of sugar. And this one I'm just going to do, I just said brine, didn't I? 2 cups of the sugar into this one. So some will have sugar and some will not have sugar. Just kind of personal preference things. Beets are actually sweet, and without sugar, they're not too bad to do pickled beets that way. Especially if you're using them, we eat them like that, or we eat them like with salad and stuff, and it doesn't really affect us too much. Like, it doesn't bug us. Anyway, but I thought I'd mention that because somebody had asked before, and I just wanted to like clarify on how we do things and versus, I don't know, how they're supposed to be done or whatever. But I thought I'd clarify on that. A lot of times, if you think that there might be sugar in a recipe and your family is not trying to avoid sugar, just don't feel bad to like ask in the comments, because it might just be something that I've adapted for like our personal family. So I'm gonna do beets, and then everyone's gonna finish chopping things up. We have gotten so much done. Oh, did I show you guys? This is the garlic that we did before, and that's just drying out. I'm not ready to process any of that yet. I will be eventually on a day that I have nothing to do. So these girls are trying to get the seeds out of these radish tops. It's okay. Yeah, but that's how she'll learn. I know maybe it's a little frustrating, but she's gonna learn like that. She's trying to do just like you are.
Feel that?
Thank you for teaching her.
Take that seed up too.
So it's the next day, next morning. This is what we had canned from last night. Still have some canners out. Gonna see if there's anything else. All the green beans, just 2 beets. All those beets, 2 beets. Well, we ate some of them too. And then that is zucchini relish there on the end. And then I'll show you what I have. So the tomatoes are gonna stay stacked like that. These are the cabbage leaves that I have not attended to yet. Kids are eating breakfast. A lot of them like ketchup with their eggs. Do you guys like ketchup with your eggs? So this is all of those cabbage heads themselves here. And I think I'm gonna make some sauerkraut with that. I decided to take the beet leaves off like this. Yeah, they look interesting. I might use some of those for a meal today, but I'm gonna dehydrate most of those because I froze a bunch before. And then these delicata's will stay for a while. We have some peppers here that I'm probably just going to cut up and throw in the freezer. So this will be our, let's see, third batch of leeks in the dehydrator here. So just kind of filling the dehydrator, dehydrate them for a couple hours, and then they go in a bowl. I took these ones out this morning. You can hear like the crisp in there. So all we do is we take these and then we'll put them in the food processor and it makes a powder. I'll show you that. So that is the leek powder. And then we'd use that in anything that needed like onion or soups or anything like that. So we'll do a couple of these like that with all of the leeks. So we'll probably do, let's see, it's morning time now. So it's morning now, so I'll probably put these in here until about lunchtime. Then I'll put the rest of these in for lunch. And then I'll put the greens in after noon. Yeah, I'll get it in a minute. So this is the, trying to do this one-handed. Everything's so humid too.
Are you getting all the salt in there?
Yes, I'm putting all that salt in there. So that is pink Himalayan salt, and this is the cabbage. And so I'm just going to massage it into the top here. I might need some more salt. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to massage it into the salt here, and then I'm going to let it sit for like 10 minutes, and then we'll start pounding it down. Okay, so I put the last of the leeks in the top here, and now I'm starting to put some of the beet greens on the bottom. So what I plan on doing is making a weekly video with all the stuff that comes in from the gardens and that type of stuff, and we are going to can it up or dehydrate it or freeze it or however we're going to preserve that food. We're going to do that weekly, and I'm going to try to post those on Saturdays so you guys know when to expect it if you're following this Every Bit Counts challenge. So I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day.